Joanna Bromley here with JCB Mental Performance Consulting, and welcome back to the Nudge of the Week. So given that it is October and Halloween is approaching quickly, I thought it'd be fitting to talk about our fears. I posted a few questions last week asking you to reflect on your fears, to reflect on the way your brain and your body responds to these fears, and if there's anything that you do about them, or if you just kind of live with them and let them roll and hang around in your headspace. Now, let's talk in more detail. Now that you've reflected on these fears, let's talk in more detail about what fear is. Now, obviously, fear is an emotion, and fear can be triggered when we perceive a threat. And it can typically send our body into what we refer to as fight or flight mode. But the problem is sometimes this fear can be triggered unnecessarily. And when it is triggered unnecessarily, it causes our body and our brain to see things negatively. It typically disrupts our focus and oftentimes results in a poor performance. So I want to challenge you to see this fear just a little differently. Instead of perceiving these fears that are rolling around in your headspace as a threat, I want you to try to view them as a challenge. So reflecting on that quote that I posted along with those questions last week, which reads, "Fear is your brain's way of saying that there is something important for you to overcome." Now, what's also important to remember about fear is it pulls our brain out of the present moment. This fear lives in the future. So the things that you're fearful of, losing a game, getting injured, whatever it may be, whatever your answers were to those questions, those fears live in the future. They haven't happened yet. What you're fearful of hasn't quite happened yet. So we have to figure out a way to bring that brain back to the present moment. So I want to revisit a strategy that I posted quite some time ago. I refer to it as the GRIP strategy. So those that know me know I love acronyms to help us remind our brain of these awesome strategies that we have in our mental skills toolbox. So let's get a grip on those fears and start your day off with a positive routine. G stands for gratitude. Think of all the things that you are grateful for, big or small. R, remember your why. Why do you participate in that activity? Why do you play that sport that you do? I stands for intention. Think, or even better, write down 3 things that you want to do today and the attitude that you plan to go about it. And finally, P, practice positive self-talk by saying just a few positive things in your head so that you can start your day off or your practice off on the right foot. So give this GRIP strategy a try to help bring that brain back to the present moment and focus a little bit more on the positives and less on what we're fearful of.